Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, Disney reports disappointing fourth quarter earnings. Shanghai Disneyland breaks ground on a new Toy Story themed land. And Donald Trump will be coming to the Hall of Presidents next year. Also, we're going to talk about a rumor circulating that Disney may be in the process of buying Netflix. And we're going to tell you about the new Jingle Bells, Jingle Bam nighttime show at Disney's Hollywood studio. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 17 for the week of November 15th, 2016. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming to you live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
Teresa Eccles.
Hey.
Corey Martin.
I'm just happy to be here.
And back in the production nook, our associate producer, Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
Along with our producer, Craig Williams.
Hello.
And the lovely and talented Mr. Will Perry.
Hello.
So, glad to have you here, Will. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's great to be here. It has been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, it has.
Mm-hmm. See how much he loves me. Okay, so a couple things in housekeeping. First up, again, want to thank our patrons who are supporting us on Patreon. It's been awesome. And Rhino, what is some of the stuff that's gone up this week?
Well, as everybody loves the scaring me videos, those have gone up too. I can't say that I enjoy those, but
now
we've love hiding around corners.
We have traumatized Rhino. Now, if we just walk into a room,
yeah,
he jumps.
It's like post-traumatic stress now coming into this house.
It's so great.
Yeah. But
do you know your ringtone? Your ringtone on my phone.
It's my scream.
Is you screaming?
Oh, please call him on the show.
Oh no, my phone's inside.
Shame.
Next week, I'll make sure I have the phone in here so that everyone can hear the Rhino ringtone.
I actually believe that is a ringtone package you can download as well now. I believe Oliver had the pleasure of making that.
Oh, did he really?
I always say thank you to him for everything he does for me. Yeah,
that's great.
He's a wonderful individual.
Also, just want to remind everyone about our other shows throughout the week. Every Monday, DizUnplugged.com, the Dreams Unlimited Travel Podcast with John, Kevin, and Tracy Heinrichs. John, what are we in store for this week?
This past Monday, we did our second part of a 3-part series on the Disney Dream, a sailing which we were all on because of our agent fam. Pete was a special guest on that show, and that was a show where Kevin has coined the term Sea Police. So if you haven't seen it, please tune in to see the Sea Police reference.
I still don't know what they're called.
And next week is part 3, and that's going to be our question and answer show about the Disney Dream.
That should be like a drama on NBC. Sea Police.
So that's that.
So that's every Monday, DizUnplugged.com, or you can go to youtube.com/DreamsUnlimitedTravel and subscribe to that channel so you get notified every time one of the new shows goes up. Also, every Monday, DizUnplugged.com is the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged with Tom Bell and his team. And again, he sent me the synopsis, and I forgot to copy it in here.
I knew I should have pulled it out. I literally just saw it and started reading it, and I was like, oh, I'm reading the wrong thing.
No, apparently you were intuitive in reading the right thing.
I was. Yeah, I know. I should have. I should have. Where is it? I'll find it.
Come on, Clara, you can find it.
Here it is. On this week's Disneyland edition, the team reviews the entertainment and food offerings at Disney California Adventure's new Festival of Holidays event.
Actually, Tom has put up some videos from different booths around the event. I love that they're doing that out there now.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Tom face.
Taking some of that. Well, I mean, just that, but also the fact that Disneyland is kind of borrowing that food and wine vibe and putting their own spin on it. There's some really cool stuff.
Makes more sense than looking at Tom. That you were talking about that, not this video.
No, I am really happy.
Sorry.
I was telling you that the other day. I'm really happy with the number of videos coming out of our Disneyland team right now, doing some great stuff out there. So if you've been enjoying what we've been doing in the parks, Disneyland team is doing that as well now. So head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/DizUnplugged. Subscribe there, and you can be notified when all of our stuff goes up. And since Oliver isn't here, does anybody know what this week's best and worst is?
Oh my goodness, I should have been far more prepared than this.
No, I should have been far more prepared. Not your fault, mine.
I have the app. I can check in the app. Hold on.
So every Wednesday, we're doing a new show now called Best and Worst of Walt Disney World. These are what we are calling mini-sodes. So they're about anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes long. And we focus on just different things. So I'm waiting to find out.
I believe it is.
I know it's a holiday one.
Yes. Top 5 best Christmas hidden gems.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's not top 5 best grammatically correct sentences. It's top 5 best Christmas hidden gems. But you get the idea. We're going to talk about 5 things that we really think are great hidden gems to experience at Walt Disney World over the holidays. So that will go up this Wednesday. Every Thursday, DizUnplugged.com, the Universal Edition of the Diz Unplugged. Craig Williams, Rhino Clavin, and Oliver Green. And what's up this week, Gregory?
I believe Rhino and Oliver will take us on a visual journey through the studio tour at Universal Studios Hollywood that y'all did a little while back.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited to learn about that.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were
Rhino's excited because he just found out that that's what the show's about.
I did. I did right in this moment.
So you got 2 days.
And of course, every Friday-ish, DizUnplugged.com, Diz Pop with Mr. Rhino Clavin and sometimes other people. Mm-hmm. That should be the official title.
Other people.
Diz Pop with Rhino Clavin and sometimes other people. What are you going to do this week?
Well, last week we had a little bit of news and stuff to talk about. There's some news stories this week I'd like to talk a little bit more about. Like I know we're going to talk about Netflix on here, but I also want to give my thoughts on there. But I'll probably do the holiday good movies to watch for. I know I said I was going to do it last week, but I think I'm going to do that this week. Good must-watch, Disney films for the Thanksgiving weekend coming up the following week from this week.
I know. It's
Isn't that crazy?
a little over a week away.
Yeah. So
Can we translate
Thanksgiving.
that? It's a week from Thursday.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know if I'll have a Diz Pop episode that week, but it might just be me stuffing my face of leftovers. But you're welcome. That's what it is.
Okay. There's something else I was going to mention. I lost it. What was I going to say?
I have no idea.
Why don't you know these things?
Because I really haven't been listening. After I was talking, I stopped listening.
He just tunes out until it's his turn to talk.
That's it.
All right, so that's our slate of shows for the week coming up. Anybody else have anything in housekeeping?
I have housekeeping. Today is actually the 17th birthday and anniversary of Dreams Unlimited Travel.
Isn't that awesome?
So very, very excited about that.
Can you believe it has been 17 years?
Crazy.
I was so, first of all, shame on me. I forgot until you sent the email out this morning. I'm like, oh my God, he's right. November 15th, 1999 was the day Dreams officially opened its virtual doors for business. And 17 years we have been doing that.
That's right. I have our first virtual dollar up on my wall.
It's just, it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine. How much it's grown, how successful it's become.
Ups and downs. The people have come and gone. Memories.
Okay, please stop. The late teen years are the hardest.
I just brought up my coffee.
I know, right?
Actually, the early teen years are the hardest. I'm hoping that
Right.
we've grown up.
Well, once you're of legal age, you got a couple more years and you'll be 21, and then it's all awesome from there. Because then you don't have to worry about it.
I'm not sure where she's going with it.
Thank you, the philosopher Teresa. Plato.
Wait, I was talking about me and my children.
Plato in a purple blouse over here. All right. Anything else?
Yes,
Craig?
I do. I want to give a big shout out to Simeon. He was one of the crew members on the Royal Caribbean Harmony of the Seas that we just got off of last week. He was, I forget his official title, something in entertainment
His
director.
name was Simeon?
Name is-
Simeon.
and that was his
He's
birth
a big
name.
fan.
He's a massive fan of our show. He saw Tracy, Corey, and I going to watch the not-so-great ice show that they have on board the Harmony of the Seas, and he got us in there, and then afterwards he was the lead-in comedian before the real comedian came on stage at one of the other clubs, and he got us
before
in there.
The real comedian. Wow, I'm sure he really appreciates that.
He
was
okay. He was funnier than the
Simeon,
actual
I apologize to you
He
for
even
that.
changed up his routine to tailor it for Disney and our show. Like he ended it with like Tony's Town Square restaurant because he knows how much we love that.
Well,
place.
he should come on the show and do some comedy on our show.
Oh, he was fantastic. And he was, the reason I said real is because he actually didn't do comedy. That wasn't his thing, but he just kind of slowly has gone into it since he's been in the cruising industry. And he was hilarious. He took care of us while we were on board, and we really appreciate it. We had
That's
a good
awesome.
time because of it.
Is he the one that made you take your shoes off for that picture?
No, we did that on our own.
No,
That was
alcohol
creepy.
to that.
Okay.
Johnny Walker made them do
Johnny
that.
Walker made him do it.
That wasn't creepy at all.
Prom photos. That's what we do.
Okay, anything else in housekeeping before this devolves any further? All right, then we're going to throw it over to Johnny with the news.
All right, our first news story. Disney reports fourth quarter fiscal earnings. Walt Disney reported quarterly earnings that missed expectations last Thursday. Disney posted earnings of $1.10 per share on revenue of $13. Oh my gosh, I can't read numbers. Disney posted earnings of $1.10 per share on revenue of $13.14 billion for its fiscal fourth quarter. Revenue from last year was down 3%. Disney was expected to report about $1.16 on a share of $13.52 billion in revenue, which it did not. However, revenue for the year was actually up 6% to $55.6 billion, a record number. Net income for the year was up 12%, hitting a record $9.4 billion. Attendance at the U.S. parks were down for the quarter, though Walt Disney World itself was close to even. Attendance was down 10% due to one less week in the quarter. With that extra week, it would have amounted to a 3% decrease.
Well, the story there is that, we are now seeing the decline in turnstile attendance show up in the quarterly. And from what I understand from the Rhino's, one of Rhino's news stories on the Daily Fix today was that Bob Iger was telling investors that they should expect a sluggish 2017 and 2018 will be better. So they're not expecting this to turn around anytime soon. What I think is interesting is that with the success, I mean, Disney had its best year ever in terms of movies. And even with that success and that revenue, they're still down. That tells me that, things at the theme parks aren't where they want them right now. And I see it when I'm in the parks that it's not, with the exception of like race weekend, it's just not as busy as it's been, which is great. It's really nice sometimes to be in the park and not feel like I've been shoehorned in. But
something that happened today that I don't think any of us are going to cover in our rapid fires or even the news is Disney has sneaked in this special ticket all of a sudden. Came out this morning.
It was weird.
This 4-day weird ticket that amounts to about $70 per day for entrance. A lot of limitations on it, but it's good through, I think, April or May of next year. I don't remember exactly.
is it Florida resident or is
No, it's for anybody. And it's
However,
not
it's not a park hopper ticket, and you can't use more than one park per day.
right.
You can't go back.
it's
You can't
called
do the same park
Right,
in the
right.
day. It
This
has to
is
be
not
all
a new
four.
ticket. This was around
The
a while
four-part
ago.
ticket. I think
Right.
that's what
However, it's the price.
Back when I worked in the timeshare industry, this was a very popular ticket, but it's very confusing because they didn't used to tell you that you could only use one park per day and you couldn't repeat.
Right.
So
However, it's just weird that all of a sudden this ticket has popped up, and I don't know how they expect this to spur, attendance all of a
Well,
sudden.
you're basically you're lowering the price of admission to the parks, effectively.
But I don't know if anybody who's going to all of a sudden see this ticket and go, maybe a Florida resident would take advantage of it. But I can't imagine anyone all of a sudden saying, "Oh, yeah,
I think
let's
it's going to
go
be very. I think it's going to be very appealing to people who stay off site.
Is there a limit to? Do you have to do it in 4 consecutive days? I didn't read the.
Expires 14 days after first use.
So that would work for locals too, if you want to bring a friend that doesn't have a ticket. Like for me bringing one of the girls and one of their friends doesn't have a ticket. That would be really
so
a
it's
plus
through
for
May.
us.
It's through May 26th, and the blockout dates December 17th through January 2nd, also April 10th through the 21st. So that kind of
Holidays.
86 is the spring break crowd,
And Easter.
and yeah. So, but
Yeah, but
I haven't really.
You'd
calculated
have to
the
commit
kind
then to
of-
going 4 times in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's interesting though. But these are the things that we're seeing. Not just this, we've seen a number of rate reductions at the resorts. We've seen other things, a lot of perks for annual pass holders, a lot of special things for annual pass holders, things they have not done in years past because they're trying to get that revenue in the parks, that volume in the parks to drive up revenue for merchandise and food. So it's interesting. With Iger saying expect sluggish results for the next year, I'm thinking they don't expect this to turn around anytime soon. Well, then again, I've been saying that in terms of the things we see them doing, the decisions we see them making business-wise, they're bracing for something longer than a few months. So I think until some of this stuff that's under construction starts to open, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in one of these other stories because I have some questions. But until some of this stuff starts to open, I think this is what the story is going to be because I think a big part of what's depressing turnout has been the fact that so much is under what people hear is, they're building this and they're building this and they're building this and it's not going to open for another 5 years. So people are like, okay, you know what? We're just going to wait.
Yep.
We're just going to wait. And so now all of a sudden, annual pass holders and those of us that travel 3 and 4 times a year to Walt Disney World, we've started being pretty girl at the prom to Disney. And so we're getting these perks and these bonuses that, quite frankly, should have been there long before this. One of the things Disneyland always did right was their annual pass holders have always been treated as special guests. There's always been a lot of attention paid to the annual pass holder program, given the fact that so much of their business comes from that market because it is more of a locals park. But here we are. If Disney had been building up that market and paying attention to that market for, let's say, the last 5 years, giving more perks to annual pass holders, treating annual pass holders more like their, special guests, then it might have mitigated some of this. But that's part of the problem that I've always seen with Disney. It is very, very short attention span. It's what do I need to do right now? Screw what's going to happen 3 or 5 years from now. It's very, very short attention span theater with these guys.
I just priced out what a 4-day, one park per day ticket is, and so with this $70 ticket, it's
not a $70.
It's $70 per day.
Right.
So, but 4 days, that's a $45 savings.
Right.
So you can literally get 2 hamburgers at Cosmic Race for
awesome.
that savings.
So when you talk about a family of 4, and you're staying off site, for example, that's a significant savings.
Mm-hmm.
That's $160. $200 almost. $48 times 4. It's almost $200. So
That was an adult ticket I compared it with.
right. Well, that's
but
what I'm
it's
saying.
still,
If you've got 2 kids over 10 and 2 adults, that's significant. $200 in your vacation is a significant savings. So that's why I think this may appeal more because we see them doing a real push with off-property hotels. It is stunning, the push that is going on right now by Disney to promote off-property hotels. And so they're trying to tap into that market to bring more people into the parks. And that, I think, is what this ticket is aimed at. I don't think this ticket is aimed at the person staying at the Grand. I think this is at the...
I also think it's not aimed at anybody who's already booked. I don't think anyone's already booked cares. They've got their ticket in their package or have an annual pass or whatever. They're trying to drum up somebody new. And whether or not it works is really, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I'll say this though, for all the construction that's going on, and really most of it is centered at Hollywood studios. There's really no construction
Animal
going.
Kingdom has got all of.
Well,
Avatar
Animal
on it.
Kingdom, but that's like almost a new addition. That's off on the side.
I think people
the
are
rest of
waiting for
Animal
that.
Kingdom is not really impacted by that. Hollywood Studios is a third of a theme park right now, and at best. So, but because the narrative has become Star Wars Land, Toy Story Land, Avatar, people are like, oh, everything's under construction, I'm not going. The truth of the matter is that, okay, if you go to Hollywood Studios, you're in the middle of it. Magic Kingdom, that construction's over with pretty much. Every so often we see a scrim go up, but for the most part, that's done. Nothing going on at Epcot yet. Once Avatar finishes, Epcot's going to start, but it needs it desperately. And Animal Kingdom, like we were just saying. So, and I mean, Disney Springs, pretty much done. Just a couple more pieces to open up, and that's a great experience. So, if you're thinking that the entirety of Walt Disney World is under construction, not entirely true. It's kind of contained in two distinct locations, but I don't know. Not bothering me when I go to Epcot or Hollywood or Magic Kingdom. And we're coming up my favorite time of year. I love Christmas at Disney World. It is my favorite.
Definitely is. Ours too.
No, it's not.
It isn't.
Stop
You're right.
stealing my ideas.
I really don't have any favorites.
No, you don't have any favorites. No. All right. Move along.
All right. Our next news story. This will certainly bring people into the parks. Bust of Donald Trump already in the works for Hall of Presidents. Bob Iger says that Disney is already working on a bust of President-elect Trump to be added to the Hall of Presidents attraction at the Magic Kingdom. The Hollywood Reporter says Iger spoke to Wall Street analysts after disclosing disappointing quarterly earnings results. The Disney CEO also railed against high corporate taxes. Iger said, quote, "We are no longer competitive with the rest of the world in that regard and must be addressed. And it's possible that, given what's gone on this week, that's likely to be addressed sooner rather than later. And that's obviously a good thing. It's also a good thing, I think, for markets and for most businesses that the transition is already off to what appears to be a fairly smooth start." Iger was speaking after Trump and President Obama met at the White House for a meeting to discuss the transfer of power. Iger added, quote, "It looks like there's cordiality, which we've not seen in a long time, and there's an attempt by both sides with the incumbent and the president-elect to approach this in a rational, cordial, effective, and polite way. That can only be good for business and for the country. On the smooth transition front, we're going through a smooth transition as well. We've already prepared a bust of President-elect Trump to go into the Hall of Presidents at Disney World."
Is there any truth to the rumor that the attraction is going to be sponsored by Orangina?
I don't believe so. Skittles.
Orange Tic Tacs.
So I want to talk a little bit about his comment about taxes. Okay, just let's put things in perspective. Mr. Iger is upset because corporate taxes in America are very high. We're the third highest taxes in the world when it comes to corporate taxes. We're like 35%. I did a little research online, and after you look at earnings after things that are being get reported and depreciation and things like that, Disney's effective tax last year was 12%. So I understand that companies rally against high corporate taxes, but at the end of the day, corporations like Disney have people who help them pay less taxes. That's just sort of the way things work.
Well, it's funny. Kevin just handed me his iPad. The main page of CNN.com, you're not going to be able to see it from here. Tax cuts are coming, but maybe not as big as Trump promised. So I think there's going to be we're not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. Very interesting. I'm very interested to see what happens.
Can I talk from a design standpoint of the people who are designing this bust? That usually you try to make the hair look real. It's either going to make their job easier or harder to make the hair not look real. So I just feel
That's what you're getting with.
I'm just trying to I'm trying to feel their pain right now, like in the whole design process.
I want them.
You know?
I so want them to use an audio clip from the campaign. It's going to be the best.
I'm just thinking, poor guys. gals.
Okay, that's pretty. I don't know. Just put a
There we go.
coconut
I
here.
couldn't get the taxes.
Just having fun, okay? No political, not get political.
I was just having fun.
I would like also to point out too that jokes are going to be made.
How
as
can we
we've
not?
always
Absolutely.
made jokes.
That's a joke.
If
It's
our
a,
jokes offend you, write to Kevin.
I don't
He
want
enjoys
jokes
your
about my hair.
emails
That's why I
very
wear a
much.
hat. So
Kevin likes the really long emails.
He does.
The best.
The longer the better.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
With no punctuation.
Yeah, those
And
are
one
his
giant
favorites.
paragraph.
No paragraphs, no capitalization. And I'm not saying a single word.
All right, our third and final news story. Shanghai Disney breaks ground on Toy Story Land. Even though it just opened this summer, the Shanghai Disney Resort is already adding a new land to the park. Ground has been broken for Toy Story Land, which will open in 2018. The new land has actually been planned even before the park opened because the Toy Story characters are extremely popular in China. The Toy Story Hotel at the resort is actually themed around the film franchise. The new land will feature a themed character meet and greet area, as well as 3 new attractions.
Okay, so let me see if I've got this. This is what confused the hell out of me with this story. They're breaking ground on it now. It's the end of 2016. Inside of 18 months, this is going to be done. Anybody think that in the next 18 months, ours is going to be done?
No.
Why is... Maybe somebody out there can answer this for me. You know, maybe it's because the labor's cheaper in China. I don't know. Why is it that Shanghai Disneyland... I mean, I know why they're doing this, because the park is tanking. The numbers are horrible at Shanghai Disneyland. They completely overestimated how much the Chinese population would pay for this experience. And so they're having to do something. Why are they getting a new land in 18 months and it's going to take us 18 years? Why? I don't know. I don't get it.
I believe ours is supposed to open in 2018 too.
Where have you heard that? There's been no official announcement.
I want to say that's what the rumblings are from
Because
everyone who's in the parks. I mean, ours is taking a little extra longer because of the entire change to the whole new parking system and the road work that's being reorganized. That's causing some headaches, but they are moving quickly on construction right now at this point. But the rumors are all leading towards 2018. They didn't say when. It could be like winter 2018.
I would like to hear Disney make an official announcement that we are going to open in the summer of whatever. I would like to. Why haven't they put a date on any of this stuff yet?
I also think when you talk about this park, right? So this park, they've planned a new land, so the place is already probably prepped, and also the plans are already in place. They didn't have to go from the ground up, quote unquote.
I don't think Shanghai should get this before we do.
Oh,
I don't think, honestly, that's part of what's bothering me about this. I don't think Shanghai should get it before Orlando does.
because they're communists.
No, it has nothing to do with them being communist.
You tried to make it.
They, you know, look, and it has
I
nothing
thought you were going to jump on the labor was cheaper. I was waiting for you to jump on that.
No, I mean,
Which I think is
I think
true.
I think labor in China probably is cheaper
Yeah.
than it is here.
I don't want that being
that's
taken
not a
away.
racist statement. That's just a
Right.
statement of fact. That
It is true.
I think it's cheaper for them to build over there than it is here. However, and it has nothing to do with crapping in the bushes. Although maybe that helps the plants grow bigger, and I don't know. So they have more lumber to build stuff.
it is
Wait, they're
frustrating.
growing
They
their own
crap in the
lumber?
bushes over. They're crapping in the bushes over there. They're having to send out flyers to people. Don't crap in the bushes. There's something not right about that. And we're going over there next year. I see somebody crapping in the bushes. I'm gonna have an event. It's gonna be an event. It's gonna be an international incident.
It's a long time for that bush
Stop it.
becomes a
I'm going
tree.
to move
though.
ahead. There's a Facebook post out there. Apparently, I don't have any way to prove whether this is true or not, but several people have sent it to me. That Tokyo Disneyland is no longer taking foreign credit cards for ticket media or hotel reservations.
For those of you who might be interested in Shanghai, one of the issues we run across as a travel agent is you cannot book Shanghai as a foreign travel agent. You have to go through a Chinese third party, whatever they call it out there. I don't even know if they're called travel agents. But so there's a lot of restrictions already booking China, and it looks like we're heading for same restrictions booking Japan. So
Will they take Bitcoin?
Oh, you mean Hong Kong?
Take what?
Not Tokyo Disneyland.
No, Tokyo Disneyland is not taking foreign credit cards. Now, this is apparently all over Facebook.
Really?
And again, I don't have any proof of this. It's one of those things that
Any idea why?
I don't. But they won't take foreign credit cards for ticket media or hotel reservations.
Not to get political,
Yeah.
but I think we're heading for a political climate that might lean towards foreign entities not being as friendly towards our dollar.
Buy Bitcoin now.
Buy Bitcoin.
Well, anyway,
I would like to stay at
I will be
Deer
upset.
Park. Here's my Bitcoins.
I will be upset if Shanghai gets Toy Story Land before we do. I will be upset with that. But I don't know. We'll see.
And if they
2018,
do, we just start crapping in our bushes.
That's
and
right.
See how.
And maybe that. Oh, look, they're crapping in the bushes. Let's open it now.
I would love to see that vlogging with Rhino.
Would you?
Pooping with Rhino.
Would you really?
Is that something you want to say?
And Oliver and Steve just came into the tail end of that.
I want you to go crap in the bushes behind you there, guys.
Yeah, there we go.
Pee
Maybe
off
they'll
the
build
Swiss
and
Family
make this-
treehouse,
they
just
may-
into the water.
Well, no, they're at Disney Springs, so maybe
Oh, never
maybe
mind.
they'll open the observatory, Planet Hollywood, sooner if you crap in the bushes.
You heard him here.
So, all right.
Look at those faces.
Thank you, John. That is going to do it for the news. Thank you. Before we move on to rapid fire, we do have Oliver and Steve over in Disney Springs.
Is he wearing orange suspenders?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Are you wearing orange suspenders?
It's his backpack.
Oh, I thought I was going to have to start like
Oh,
clearing his
yeah.
outfits in the morning.
I said he was dressed as a lumberjack.
I couldn't hear him.
I'm not that fashionable.
He's not that fashionable.
No, clearly.
True.
That's plainly obvious from the image I'm looking at. So, what are you guys doing out in Disney Springs?
We are at the Christmas Tree Trail, which, for those of you that don't know, is a new thing they're doing at Disney Springs for 2016. They've got 15 individually designed Christmas trees that are designed after classic
movies.
Disney's. Yeah, so let's take you around and show you what they've got. So
I have bigger trees on
this
my
is a
coffee
personal
table.
favorite of mine. I've both during the day and at night.
I think it's really bad, but we'll get to that.
So here's the first one. There's a village tree just here that's themed after the Disney village. So there's like a magic spells book on it.
The
like
village people tree? Is that what they said?
It's hard to see.
We're losing you.
We're losing.
We're losing you. Slow it down.
No, we're back. We're back.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, but you're very broken up.
Stop moving.
Stop
Let
moving.
it,
You're
let it
moving
catch
too
up.
fast.
Yeah, well, that's because the queen's got to spin like a top.
It's like
Are we back with you?
Lance
Yes.
Bass and a
Sit
lumberjack.
still when you show us the next tree. Just flip the camera and try not to move.
Okay. Thank you for the direction. There's a Beauty and the Beast tree as well, which I can't get too close to, otherwise we'll lose you again. But no, it's there's 15 altogether, and I absolutely love it. I actually think it's enjoyable both at the day and at night because it changes. They light them up. Steve, on the other hand, hates it.
I think this is the stupidest thing Disney's done in a while. It feels to me like some manager just told some employee to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of fake Christmas trees and decorate them with their own Christmas decorations.
Well,
Not even Target. Holy crap, he
Why
went
is
bad.
there no snow on the ground? Why is it like trees in a parking lot?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems the theming is horrible, and they don't even have like fake Christmas presents under any of the trees.
I will say it is very parking lotty. Like they've not really made
Parking
much
lot.
of an effort to cover up the fact that it is in a parking lot.
I
Well,
think the best part is the sign.
Themselves, like they look awesome.
Well, I mean, the reaction on the boards has been very critical. I mean, people on the boards are saying they think this is stupid.
Oliver, how tall are you?
How tall am I?
Yes.
6'2".
Can you go stand next to one of those trees so I have some sort of...
They're tiny.
He said they made them taller.
Oh, they did? They
Yeah.
put... Okay, never mind then.
Taller since we just saw
Disregard.
them.
We're
what I
losing
just
you.
said.
We're only hearing every other word.
How tall are the trees?
Oh, okay. So the trees are
9 feet, maybe?
Yeah, they vary.
Oh,
so they've
okay.
actually made them
Like
bigger.
9
There's one tree. There was a Mulan tree, which was very small. It probably was only about 5 feet. I've come back today and they've redecorated it, and it's a brand new tree. It's a lot taller. So they did vary a lot more. Now they're pretty big. I'd say they're all around the same size. They're all around a minimum of 6 to 9 feet, I'd say now.
Okay. I was just wondering.
It just looks to me like somebody could have set up a better thing in their yard.
They look
Like
tiny.
Pete's house looks way better than that Christmas tree trail right now.
Oliver doesn't think so. Oliver didn't like my Christmas decorations.
It just seems
rude.
extremely cheap to me.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I like it. I really do. Keep in mind as well that this is an unticketed event. You don't pay to come to it, so it's like
Doesn't mean it has
the
to be
level of
garbage.
expectation you have. It's good enough for an event that is unticketed, I'd say. No, that's a really bad way of putting it.
That's a rousing endorsement. It's good enough.
It's good enough. I know. I heard it as I said it. That's not the best.
So what is this
I
called
like it.
again? This is called the
I will
Christmas Tree
say,
Trail of
I
Tears.
do like that they have
Oh, too
snow
soon.
coming down.
God,
Too soon.
I live with it.
Inappropriate, was that?
What happened?
I was
Nothing. You missed it.
You had to be
Okay.
here, not in your. Are people crapping in the bushes?
Crap under the trees.
Are people what in the bushes?
You
Crapping.
heard me. You heard us.
We were talking about Shanghai Disneyland.
I just heard something about the bushes and.
All right. Yeah, this connection really isn't very good. So
this is great.
we'll let you guys get back to your day.
Okay.
Have a good one, guys. We'll talk to
Thank
you
you
later.
so much. Have a good one. Bye.
It was like the first talkie. You know, every time he turned his head away from the mic.
First talking.
That wasn't even worth the bandwidth.
That was Mary Pickford. Okay.
Which one was
Wait.
Mary Pickford?
Both of them.
Wait, Ollie didn't like your decorations?
He was
like, oh, it looks good.
He's like, it's nice. I'm like,
Oh
screw
my
you.
gosh.
Yeah, right? I think my house looks gorgeous.
Little tiny Tim needs to go home.
You know, he's got a big Charles Dickens Christmas going on in his place. What do you think that's about?
Well, who knows? Anyway, we're going to move on to rapid fire. John, we'll start with you.
All right. New enhancements are coming aboard the Disney Wonder. Disney Cruise Line shared some details about the lineup of enhancements debuting this week on the newly transformed Disney Wonder. There's going to be the Marvel Studio Hero Academy, Spider-Man, Captain America, Black Widow, and other superheroes from the Marvel Universe will host training activities for kids all cruise long. Tiana's Place is the new restaurant celebrating the charm of the Louisiana Bayou. Inspired by The Princess and the Frog. There's going to be a Wandering Oakens trading post. Kids can get their Frozen fix with Frozen adventures in the youth club, imaginative play and hands-on activities, plus one-on-one interactions with Anna, Elsa, and Olaf.
One-on-one.
One-on-one. There's also, for adults, there's going to be a new Crown and Fin pub, so you can relax and have fun and get drunk and then take your shoes off and take a picture with Craig.
Prom photos.
Wrap your arms around Tracy.
So always excited when Disney updates something or rehab something, but I think the Wonder is going to look beautiful.
Whenever they do, whenever they put these ships into dry dock, they always do some really cool upgrades to them. So
I'm amazed how fast they do it.
yeah, it's
The
crazy.
transformation's insane.
I like that they.
Do you think they're crapping in the bushes? That's why it gets done so fast.
And over the
It
ship.
makes lumber grow faster.
I like that they added the Black Widow too. Like Marvel gets dinged all the time for undervaluing all the female heroines in Star Wars and Marvel as well. But
I think as they
That's
get
cool.
more characters introduced, I think we're going to see the Black Panther. I think we'll see a lot of the
That
new
would get-
characters show up there.
that would be cool.
I agree.
We have a cruise booked in.
There's a Black Panther character?
There is. He's a superhero, not an activist.
Different type.
Look, until Marvel does a musical, he's out. Okay.
We have a cruise booked in March on the Wonder, so I'm looking forward to seeing Tiana's. I'm going to keep an open mind with the menu, but I'm looking forward to
Corey.
it. Well, no, I have to.
I
I'm
know
from New
you do,
Orleans,
but the
come
rest
on.
of us
There's
might
no
enjoy
gumbo.
it.
Yeah, but don't you want to hear from somebody who
I
knows
do.
authentic?
She
New
does
Orleans
make
cuisine?
gumbo in the movie, which I feel like is a little upsetting. It's not on the menu.
Have you
because
seen that
it's
Facebook video
featured.
where Disney made gumbo and like they got ripped apart and they actually had to take the video down because they were getting ripped apart that bad?
wasn't authentic
Hopefully,
gumbo.
there's nothing like that in the Russia, but I'm going to keep an open mind. I can't wait for it.
All right, thank you, John. Kevin.
There's 2 new stores coming to Disney Springs.
Yay.
They're going to be drawing people. There's going to be lines. The first one is Living Trends. It will offer succulents, cactus, bamboo, and many other plants.
Because there's nothing easier.
Nothing's easier to transport home through TSA than a cactus.
Well, I know where to leave my husband when I take him over there then.
And it's cacti. There's going to be different kinds. Living Trends describes itself as a store offering living decor. We used to call them greenhouses where I came from, but okay, good. The other one is Stance. Stance. Stance will offer fun underwear and socks
Stop.
for men, women, and children.
Fun?
Fun.
This is a big thing.
Yeah.
These sock stores,
Oh, yeah.
it's a big thing.
Well, they had a little mismatched already. That's where you got socks that didn't match.
There was a great store out in City Walk in Hollywood called the LA Sock Market. Had some great stuff.
You got me some socks there.
Yeah.
I got some Power Ranger socks now.
The underwear and socks will have designs from Star Wars.
Ooh.
Major sports teams and much more. Doesn't Sheldon wear like fun underwear? I mean, like
does.
it's fun to wear.
Do you wear your socks with your underoos? Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm done. I'm out.
Especially when they make you take your shoes off for prom photos. It's
You
nice
had
to
some
have
rocking socks there
And
now.
fun socks.
That was the best part of the whole
They
picture.
stood on one
Other
of
than
those
Craig's
white
face.
papers. You know the ones where the kids do the.
They laid down.
Oh, we tried that. They wouldn't print it.
That's
Were you
because
stacked on
Tracy
top
was
of each
wearing.
other?
I don't even know. I have no idea what they're talking about. So I know you have no idea
We
what
should
they're
have
talking
featured
about.
the photo.
They did that
Obviously,
thing on
this
the-
is something that went on, and I don't want to hear the details, really and truly. Something that went on during the Harmony of the Seas trip they just took.
Let's
You know
put it
those
this-
white paper photographs they have on cruise ships?
Didn't I just say I didn't want to hear about it?
Two tipsy elves and one cranky woman.
Let's put it this way: the alcohol was free,
Okay.
so you, can
You
just
better
picture-
believe
so were the
she didn't
photos.
help. She wanted to do
Okay.
them.
Again, of no, I'm long since past the point where I cared about this story. Oh, Lord. So thank you, Kevin. Teresa.
All right. A new sailing has been added to the list of Disney Cruise Line itineraries for 2017. The Disney Cruise Line blog reports that a 3-night Bohemian cruise on the Disney Fantasy, 3 nights on the Fantasy,
Right.
is now listed as departing from Port Canaveral on May 17th. The cruise will actually spend 2 days at Castaway, returning to port Saturday, May 20th. I've already booked a couple.
Okay, so this is weird, right? No pre-announcement by Disney. Nothing out there that said this was going to happen, and all of a sudden it drops. That
But
there's
you know
a
why?
surprise-
You think it's really why they're
No,
saying it is?
what the speculation that we heard was that they finalized their dry dock schedule and they ended up with some extra time because I guess they're going to get done sooner than they expected. So rather than just leave the ship like hanging out smoking cigarettes, they're putting it out for 3
People
days.
are counting on this too. And they're,
I think
I
it's-
kind of want to be on it. I
Yeah,
wanna be kind of
yeah.
A 3-nighter.
What is? Do you know anything about the pricing? I know you.
Pricing. When I looked yesterday, pricing was very, very good.
It was. I let's see.
But
what
I
category
think
was it?
now
Just
that the
about
word's out-
2,000. Yeah.
So you mentioned it to double dip at Castaway Key,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is really cool.
And you just go to Castaway and you hang out for 2 days and you come home.
I don't think they're going to stay.
Yeah, I think
No?
they're going to leave.
Yeah,
'cause
they're
they
going to have to pull out because otherwise they can't open the
won't
shops.
open.
Oh, yeah. So
On
they pull
board.
out, they spin around, then they come back.
Yeah, probably do fireworks.
Yeah. I think it sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
It sounds fun. And it's, a Wednesday to a Saturday. Anybody can.
What are the dates again of that?
May 17th to the 20th.
Cool.
I like short cruises like that. That's something I would definitely be interested in. 7 nights is a little long for me, but that sounds
Have you done? You've done a 7-nighter.
1 7 night, and it was a little long, personally.
Oh, go back to
But you
Indiana.
get to unpack
I think
them.
this is fun.
Oh, damn.
What?
Who was your roommate on that cruise?
Easy.
Yeah, right. Who are you rooming with?
My wife.
That explains it. It felt like an eternity, didn't
She's
it?
not watching, is she?
Try Craig or Corey. They're really fun on a cruise.
They'll take you to get your picture taken.
All right. Thank you, Teresa. Corey.
All right. Hopefully this is rapid. Walt Disney World brings back refillable mugs with handles. Back in August, there were reports that a lot of the refillable mugs had no handles, and now there were reports that some of the mugs are showing up on the shelves without handles. So it's unclear if we're going to get both.
People are freaking.
The internet has shut down.
Yeah.
With this, so it's still unclear.
It's life
but
altering.
That's it. You may be able to get a handleless mug, or one with
Or
a
you
handle.
have to go back twice and get one of each.
Well, I think what they're probably doing is seeing how they sell with both out there.
Yeah.
Like, are they selling more of them by offering both, or, you know,
Or are they just burning through their inventory? and getting
It's-
rid of
Or
it?
have they given it no thought whatsoever?
Exactly. We've given it so much.
I think the amount of
All of the above,
the amount of response to it when they
really was.
put out the handleless mugs was pretty substantial. So I'm sure they got
Were
that.
people
message.
yay or nay
But
for
we
it?
did that. Well, we did a poll on our Facebook page, and by a mile, people were like, offer both,
Absolutely.
both, one with handles, one without. Some people like the handleless mugs because it fits easier in the cup holder in your car. Other people want the handles because when you're going in the morning to get coffee and juice for all 17 members of your family, you need handles to hold all the mugs, and so. I think both camps can be kept happy. I can't imagine it's that big a deal to do both.
Right.
But only Disney would, do something raising this to an issue. So we'll see what happens. All right, thank you, Corey. Rhino.
Okay. Mine is there's a rumor now out there that Disney's looking to purchase Netflix. And I'm going to read the whole thing. I wrote about it. So it's going to take me a second here. But Disney, obviously we know Disney owns Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm, and they're all about their content. So I'm just going to read the part I wrote for the Daily Fix today. So owning the content is only half of it. A key element of entertainment is distribution, something that has dramatically shifted in the last few years. Even though Disney does, of course, own the ABC TV network, it has yet to get a real foothold on the streaming market. Now, recently, AT&T just purchased Time Warner for $85 billion. And what they're going to do is create a package that's going to feature Time Warner content, which is stuff like Warner Brothers, HBO, Turner, in a soon-to-launch. It's going to be $35 a month. It's a DirecTV Now service, which is going to have premium channels that Netflix obviously doesn't offer. And despite its appealing third quarter, Netflix faces fundamental long-term business challenges of its own. It's a singular content-focused subscription-based business model, and it's having trouble competing with things like AT&T, Amazon, Google, Apple, all those things. So it comes as no surprise that Disney is eyeing a Netflix purchase amidst its declining ESPN subscriber numbers and a continual increase in cord cutters, as well as the increase in consumption of entertainment on non-traditional media platforms. Plus, there was a whole thing about the rise in millennials, or some people that have never even had cable and will never get it, is a big deal that's starting to show up now, too. So there's that, and then the rumor is, too, that they're trying to acquire the CEO of Netflix for their own, to come work into the Disney family
Reed
as well.
Hastings, yeah.
Yeah, because they want him to succeed. When Bob Iger goes, they want him on board.
And I think, well, we were talking about this earlier. First of all, I think it would be awesome if Disney acquired Netflix. I think that would only make it better. I also think that to some degree, we've got to give a lot of leeway to Bob Iger on a choice like this, because there was the Pixar acquisition, there was the Lucasfilms, there was Marvel. This guy's 3-0 in choosing this stuff. And it sounds similar to what happened when he acquired Pixar. Steve Jobs got added to the board of directors of Disney. And I think, what I like about Reed Hastings is, do you guys remember when he decided to split the physical DVD side of the business from the streaming business and create two different products?
Like it was yesterday.
And the internet went crazy. People were like, this is the end of Netflix.
Yeah,
And
I remember
the
that.
stock tanked. And he's like, trust me, I know what I'm doing. And now look at it. So he's got a track record of not just making bold, smart business decisions, but now a track record also of developing original content. A lot of the original stuff that Netflix is producing has been wildly popular,
Award-winning
very successful. And I think it is a departure, choosing tapping Reed Hastings to be Bob Iger's replacement completely out of left field, something I don't think any of us thought we would be possibly talking about. It's not going with a typical Hollywood studio head.
I think there's reasons for that too. About Reed Hastings is that Netflix, especially, has a really. I have a lot of reservations about Disney buying Netflix. One of them obviously being like a hike in subscription cost because Netflix is not very expensive a month. It's like it's up to like $11 now, I think, or something like that.
It's going to be like $70 for 4 days of unlimited watching.
Well, the other thing is
And a park ticket.
the diversification of what they offer right now. So they start shows like they are offering their children's shows. You know, they can right now Netflix can operate and go anywhere it wants and go to any company out there in any studio in Hollywood and say we want this. But when Disney owns it, I don't know that a show like Voltron that they have that's very successful for them would ever get created ever again. I don't know that there are that I feel like they're going to start narrowing their road that they have in front of them, which might
Disney
be a good,
Netflix.
might be a bad thing. Yeah. It would, however, open up the opportunity to have the massive backed catalog that is still unavailable of Disney films, I'm sure, would pour out. And it would change, it would have a dramatic shift in Hollywood because then you have somebody who's also not only the production studio, but they're also the distributor, which has also been a major changing point in Hollywood.
In terms of streaming.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's cool that they want him to work for them because clearly he's in tune with generational people. You know what I mean? He appeals to, like, there are kids that love Netflix because it recreated these retro shows for them. And then there are other people who like Netflix because of shows like House of Cards or, you know, stuff like that. And so I can definitely see his appeal for why Disney wants to tap into this very talented man, you know. But that's
I said, I would give I give a lot of latitude to Bob Iger on a decision like this because so far, you know, everybody said he was going to destroy Marvel.
I was worried about Marvel too,
and look what
look
happened.
at it now. Yeah.
So I think that this guy obviously knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so clear from the decisions he's made in terms of these acquisitions, how they've bolstered the brand, how he's used them has been incredible. And so I give a lot of latitude. But your point's well taken about Netflix has the energy of entrepreneurial energy almost with Netflix, and that's what's built it to where it is. What happens when a corporate overlord comes in and starts sanitizing it?
Well, it gets scary because we've seen how Disney can be with things that work well and how they squeeze it too tightly sometimes to the point, and then they don't want to let go of the cloth. Instead, they just throw it away. Yeah.
As soon as it stops producing. Yep, that's a good point, and all fair. But personally, I'd be excited to see it happen.
It'll be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
So again, it's just a rumor. Has not been announced, but I think that it's interesting.
I would be sorry to see Netflix lose some of the edgy stuff.
Yeah.
And with the Disney ownership, I see some of the edgy stuff going away.
I don't agree with that. Because like Daredevil.
I was going to say I'll give them credit because the stuff that they put on that Disney's had a very amazing working relationship with Netflix that has been very successful for both of them with all of that Marvel stuff. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and now Luke Cage is a massive thing for them too.
Yeah, but do you think Orange is the New Black and House of Cards fit the Disney
and
model?
that's what and there's shows even more than those that I worry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're very dark. The Marvel stuff that's shown up on Netflix is dark.
It's rated R.
It's rated R. It's not been sanitized. That kind of surprised me as well. So I think, and they also, part of the reason Hollywood Pictures was created and part of the reason they had Miramax was to create different types of films that don't fit under the Disney brand. I think that, as you said, Daredevil and Jessica Jones in particular strike a very different chord you would never see on ABC. You would never see on any Disney branded product. So I think an acquisition of Netflix would give them the cover to be able to do stuff like that without attaching it immediately and completely to the Disney
but
brand.
how about what they did with Deadpool? I mean, that's just out there Marvel Disney, and that's about as edgy as you can get with.
Yeah,
they made it very clear that is Marvel Studios and Fox. So it's like Disney's the parent company with Marvel being the umbrella.
Got that castle showing when it shows up somewhere.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a castle. No, it's just a Marvel for the flip. No, it's Fox owns the rights to it, so they have to work with. It's a spider web. Like Disney owns it, but because
Disney inherited an awful lot of contracts and agreements when they took over Marvel.
Yeah.
They Universal, Fox, other properties. that they have to navigate around. So I think Deadpool was a Fox.
It's anything X-Men, so Deadpool is in the X-Men universe belong to them, and they make deals sometimes where they swap characters back and forth or something like that. But like Spider-Man is the first one to work with them, with Disney specifically. So that's the first studio to come.
We'll be able to see Pollyanna on Netflix, right?
In the Gilmore Girl movies.
Bring back the old stuff.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Pollyanna,
I don't know that
Zombie Hunter.
Right?
I don't know that Netflix would have pursued Gilmore Girls if it was run by Disney. That's the only, stuff like that. That makes me nervous.
I think it remains to be seen if it even happens. But I think that the concept of it gets me excited. I think, especially, I think what I've seen Disney do with brands that I was afraid they were going to destroy. And, Lucasfilm, hello.
Yeah.
Look at it. You can't argue. You can't argue that the film was great. The first Star Wars film they released was absolutely incredible, and I've got good hopes for what's coming up. So, all right, thank you, Rhino. We're going to move on. Will, did you want to add to this?
I was just going to say, do you think like a straight up distribution deal would be better than, buying out Netflix?
No, they need the streaming channel because, as Rhino pointed out in that article, that is one area where they're very weak.
Right, their distribution
It's like-
is dropped off with CD sales.
But specifically the streaming. It's moving in that. Everything's moving in that direction, and even the rumor of Disney considering buying a streaming service really just kind of says, okay, this is the way it's going to go now.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
Craig,
Did she go out?
Or
that's Abigail. You hear
tap dancing
throughout the studio. All right, thanks, Rhino. Craig.
Okay, so we have our final narrator for Candlelight Processional from December 7th to the 9th. It will be Anthony Mackie, who in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Falcon.
Do you think he's going to dress like that?
I hope he does. We got to see him at the last D23 Expo when he came out to talk about...
it was Civil War, right?
Yeah, Civil War. Yeah. That's right. So long ago. But yeah, he was hilariously entertaining for his short, 30 seconds on stage. So I can only imagine how he'll be whenever he gets to do the entire Candlelight Processional. So.
Hopefully not hilariously.
Yeah, I hope
don't go hilarious with it.
Yeah.
I think they all pretty much say exactly the same thing.
Yes, but with different inflection points.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Thank you, Craig. Before we head out, want to talk a little bit about the new Jingle Bells, Jingle Bam nighttime show at Hollywood Studios that has been added for the season. The guys had a chance to check it out last night. It's opening night, and we do have a short little sizzle reel kind of showing you some of it before we talk about it. So let's go ahead and play that.
Jingle bell, jingle bell.
Tonight we've got a special holiday transmission from the big guy himself, Santa Claus. And to make sure the site is holly jolly, I'm sending in our top prep and landing team, Lanny and Wayne.
Okie doke. Now, I wasn't there last night with you guys. I was watching the live feed. We were streaming that live on Facebook last night. I thought it looked great. I was really happy with it, but I think there's been some mixed reaction from you guys.
I was there with Oliver. We both, and then Kylie as well, too. I would say underwhelming in person. It's first off, it's branded as a fireworks show. And I know that you saw some in the video, but for a 14-minute show, there was maybe about 45 seconds of fireworks. And I don't consider shooting a couple straight up in the air like they do around Cinderella Castle.
Yeah.
That's not fireworks. Fireworks are big booms, and they just
Big bams.
Big bams. They did not bring the bam with Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. I mean, the whole storyline, it was very cute. Santa's missing. Wayne and Lanny come in and have to find him. You know, Oogie Boogie captures him. I don't want to ruin it for you, but they get Santa back.
Do.
Christmas is saved. Some of the effects are cool. Like, they added LED lights to all the trees around the area, so you couldn't see that in the video. But you're kind of surrounded in Christmas. And with the snow effects happening, too, I mean, those were all adult arms you saw in the video reaching up trying to grab snow, which people like soap snow.
Ferris does.
But, it was a cute show. The reason I say underwhelming is people are upset because it is definitely not even 10% of a replacement for the Osborne lights.
Right, that's what I'm seeing on the boards. Yeah,
that's just something, unless they put Osborne lights somewhere else, they wouldn't be able to fully replicate it. This, if they added a little bit more fireworks into it and give a little bit more of a bang to the show, then I think people would walk away a lot happier. But it's better than having no holiday entertainment at all.
Is it also disappointing when you compare it to the Star Wars fireworks?
Yes. Yeah, Star Wars has a little bit more, and something about Star Wars just feels more epic, especially like the lightsaber ending. It's just something like that's very, very cool.
Look, I got him to smile.
I know, I saw that.
Star Wars.
I saw that.
I love that show, and I didn't hate this one. Actually, Hollywood Studios last night overall was just beautiful. They were doing the snow all up and down Hollywood Boulevard too, and they've actually decorated it really well this year.
I really have to give them credit that for as annoying as it is that 3/4 of that park is shut down right now. They didn't. I was afraid what they were going to do was like, yeah, we're building stuff, but so here's this one attraction and this restaurant. Enjoy yourself. They're not doing that. They really are trying to make the experience as good as possible under the circumstances. So I've got to give them credit there because I keep I haven't been over there in a while. That's what I keep hearing is that some of these things that are getting added are really cool. They're putting in these little extra touches to try and make it a little nicer.
Now, is there a dessert party associated with this?
Yes,
and
sir.
that was getting some good reviews. That was getting some good commentary. On the boards.
I'm going to be able to experience the dessert party tomorrow night, so I'll see firsthand what kind of snacks and treats are available for it. But I think they're still doing the same style that they were doing with Star Wars, that they're doing desserts at a separate location, maybe the launch bay for this one too. And then they are just coming out like 5 minutes before the fireworks starts and they get their VIP viewing area, which is it's the best spot you can watch them from, and you have a great view of it. So they've got to do a lot for whatever it is, 69 plus tax.
Folks on the boards that did it last night were giving it high marks. They said they felt it was worth it. So
one thing I'm going to miss about Osborne Lights, I think this is going to be great too, but I'm going to miss that it was just free flowing. It seems like a lot of stuff at Disney, it's hurry up and wait. You get your spot for the fireworks, you get your spot for the parade, you get your spots for the show. Osborne, you just go in and walk freely, and you don't really need a spot. You just kind of enjoy it. I'm going to miss that part because there was really no planning involved.
There was also, you had the opportunity to spend as little or as much time as you wanted.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for that report, Craig, and for that video. If you want to see the full video of the Jingle Bells, Jingle Bam show, head out to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WDWinfo for that particular video. So that is going to do it for our show. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next week with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everyone. And remember, stay out of the damn lakes. Have a good week.